We turn our attention to Texas, where a habitual drunken driver has gotten a life sentence by a Texas jury after his ninth driving under the influence charge. So this guy has gotten convicted 9 times of driving under the influence, which, probably means he didn't drive drunk only 9 times. He was caught and convicted 9 times. And now a jury has sentenced him to life, which, since he didn't get the memo the first 8 times, yeah. Christopher Stanford, who is 50, was sentenced Tuesday by a jury in Parker County, Texas. He had pled guilty, but chose to have a jury decide his sentence, which is something you can do in Texas. So in Texas, that is an option. You can have a jury decide your sentence. And so he's like, I'm going to have a jury decide my sentence. I'm not sure how he thought that was going to end, but that's what he decided to do. Is like, I'll plead guilty and have a jury decide my sentence. Okay. The Parker County District Attorney said Stanford was treated as a habitual offender because he previously served 4 prison sentences for felony driving under the influence. This was his first DWI in Parker County, but had other convictions in other counties throughout Texas in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The incident that earned the life sentence apparently began in August when law enforcement responded to an accident about 30 miles west of Fort Worth. Stanford had run a red light and rear-ended another car, whose driver told police that Stanford appeared to at least some awareness of the consequences. I have to go, Stanford reportedly told the driver. I'm going to get in trouble. Stanford then reportedly took off, jumping over a barbed wire fence. Police found him about 30 minutes later hiding in a bush, his jeans ripped and cuts on his body. Prosecutors described him as clearly drunk and belligerent and unable to stand without help. At one point, he even tried to headbutt the EMT that was trying to help him. He was so drunk and obnoxious that officers were unable to admit field sobriety tests, but, we were able to determine he was drunk through other methodology. His blood alcohol content, once tested, was 0.267. Wow. I mean, that's a little bit over the limit. 0.267. Wow. I mean, so yeah, a little bit DUI, just a little bit DUI. Wow. Swan, the district attorney, reportedly said that the individual who was arrested told jurors he was very unlucky, but he didn't believe he had any alcohol problems. I don't know, man. You don't think you have alcohol problems, but you have 0.267 in your blood, and this is your 9th driving under the influence. So, I think you might have some alcohol problems. I thought his testimony showed a lack of insight. I tend to agree. In our case, he's not just intoxicated, he was flat out drunk. With that level of intoxication and high speed, we're really lucky that the people he hit only suffered minor injuries. Jurors apparently took 90 minutes to decide his fate. He may be eligible for parole earlier. Under Texas law, Mr. Stanford will be eligible for parole when his actual time plus good time credit calculates 15 years. But any decision to release him will be made by the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles. So he has to serve at least 15 years of time. And, given the 9th DUI thing, I don't know, man. Things are not looking great for him. Thus, that brings us to the end of the tale of Christopher Stanford, here seen in 4 different mugshots over the years, who apparently doesn't believe that he has an alcohol problem, despite the fact that he gets arrested a lot. He's just really unlucky in getting pulled over and arrested and convicted, and really unlucky with the 0.267 blood alcohol limit. He's really, really unlucky. The jury apparently thinks that life in prison sounds about right for our 50-year-old miscreant, because apparently he didn't get the memo the first 8 times and is obviously a danger to society. So Yeah. So that is the fate of Christopher Sanford, at least for a moment. That brings us to the end of discussion of this story.